Any come over, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic and one nation. Indivisible. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Trenary.
Here.
Councilman Litherland.
Here.
Councilman Bowman.
Here.
Councilman Drown.
Here.
Mayor Ashworth.
Here. All right, we have public comment. I want to remind everybody that we have a 3-minute limit. No repetition. So this was for next.
Good evening. Frankie Wolf, 112 and 105 West El Paso Avenue. I have another suggestion that I'd like to add to the list I brought up at the last meeting for council to consider. Thank you for getting this mic fast. I guess you guys pulled a faster on me last time. You had fixed it and then I overcompensated by speaking way close into it. So it was really muffled. So you can hear me now, I guess. So the city has a vision statement and I just kind of like to read that. Establish Cripple Creek as a vibrant, historic, gold mining, gambling, and tourist destination with a multifaceted economic base focused on growth, historic tourism, outside adventure, and building community. So our vision statement is very important because that's what the city's intent is, and therefore council's decisions should be geared towards building that vision, right? Therefore, I really think it should be heard out loud by all of us and repeated as a reminder to all of us. So I'd kind of like to ask if council might consider at every council meeting, maybe following the Pledge of Allegiance, that the mayor or a designated council member might read that vision statement out loud prior to the council meeting. I think it would just help remind us all the vision of what we're all aiming for here and be really good for the town to keep us all in alignment. So, and I'm not sure how often it's updated, but you know, we've been established already for over 100 years already. So I kind of think maybe it's due for a refresh and maybe we can all do a little bit better with that vision, make it a little bit more specific. So, and if you do update it, I'd love to see you bring together maybe the residents and the staff like a big work session and hear the input and the desires and maybe do an update on that statement. And what you do the next budget session, that's where I got, found the budget, the vision statement to reflect all really what we want to see here so we can feel we're moving forward in the same direction. Maybe use the outdoor where the community is getting together next week to talk about what the outdoor, the outside adventure and all that we, gathering input for what we all want to see happen with the outdoors next week. So I thought that would be a good thing to hear from the community when you consider possibly updating the vision statement. So just a thought. Thanks for your consideration.
Thank you. Okay, Dan Cummings.
Good evening. My name is Dan Cummings. I am the principal up at the high school. And I'm here to publicly praise the Cripple Creek Police Department. On Wednesday, February 22nd, the CCPD received a phone call in which the caller made a direct and very detailed threat against our school. With no hesitation, CCPD deployed to our campus and they were in our buildings in less than a few minutes. They cleared and secured our buildings in a matter of minutes, and they worked with us providing clear, accurate communication throughout what was a several-hour raised alert situation. The phone call ended up being a prank. More than a dozen of those occurred around the state on that day. But Chief Bright and Sergeant Keibel were professional, they were swift, and they were exceptional in what they did for us. On behalf of Cripple Creek City Schools, Cripple Creek Victor Schools, families, students, and all of our faculty and staff, I want the City Council to know this. That's all I have to say.
We appreciate your. Yes, investment, please.
City Council, thanks for calling me up here and hearing me. I am just submitting pretty much I guess a voucher in a sense, or wanting a license for my own business. And I know you are looking to open up dispensaries here, and I'm trying to do a dispensary cafe. So I have a business plan. I have pretty much comprehensive knowledge. I've been in the field for 3 years, coming on 3 years, and been in the cafe service industry more than that. I'm just trying to get my voice out there, trying to get the business. Sorry. I was just trying to get the plan out there, trying to get my vision out there. And if anyone can hear it, I was hoping the city council can and try to approve. Again, it's going to be something different, something new. It's not just going to be a cafe or just a dispensary. It would be something where you consume on site. And that is new to the industry. It's not something they allow anywhere else because you can consume something that's not infused, or you can consume in the sense of purchase and go home to consume. So it is something that is new to have a cafe where you would be sitting down, enjoying the environment, the community, pretty much where you can go from there is something where you're feeling happy and you're feeling lucky, especially when you combine something like coffee and cannabis. So feeling lucky and casinos around you, I think that's a good combination and something to look into at least. That's just my word, and if anyone's out there to talk more, I've got my phone number, emails, business plan, and everything else. Thanks for hearing me out.
Approval of minutes from the prior meeting, March 1st.
Go ahead.
Okay, I motion that we approve the March 1st, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
Oh, second.
Vote please.
Yes.
Council Bowman,
Yes.
Councilman Litherland,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Tenary,
Yes.
Mayor Ashworth.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Finance director, call.
Thanks. Usually go ahead of me.
I listened to Frank all day yesterday.
Okay. Well, council, we do not have the expenditure budget transfer request this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. That's true. Nick, you want to help now? City administrator, please.
Actually, you're listening to Jeff Moser.
Yesterday, we made a trip, the mayor, myself, Jeff, and Ted Warden made a trip to Buena Vista to look at a manufacturing plant that does housing. It's very informative. Then we went out to their location where they're actually building the houses, putting them together. Very informative. The only negative, I guess, we found out is even theirs are not affordable anymore for what we consider affordable in Cripple Creek. So a little bit discouraging there, but they build a nice product. It's brought in, and it's usually 2-story. They bring in 2, put them together, kind of like what they did over here for Century. Behind them, they put in some townhomes. This is homes they sell. They either put them together or keep them separate. And I've got pictures that we took, and so does Jeff, the manufacturing process. It's pretty, it's kind of like a Toyota plant. It's actually the way they designed it after a Toyota plant. So it's very effective the way they put things together. Anyway, that was one thing. I think we enjoyed it, other than Jeff talking all the way over there and all the way back.
Very informative.
Very informative. I told you, if I got back, I'll have to put this in, Mayor. I said, Jeff, I went to school for 4.5 years for an undergraduate, 2 years for master's, and I have learned more in this hour and a half drive over there and back from Jeff Mosier than I learned in 6 years of college. So it was all in jest. But he is very detailed and knowledgeable. But what I wanted to just say, and I gave y'all copies, we got the letter this morning finally from the state revolving our application to the state revolving fund for $10 million for water and sewer infrastructure improvements. And also we were trying to get $1 million for engineering. We'd already received 400,000 from DOLA. In this letter, you'll see that they did, we met the requirements. I don't know if it's good or not for a disadvantaged community. So we've got another $600,000 from the SRF fund for engineering. That 600 will match the 400 with DOLA that we were required to put a match up to. A couple of things that we're need to work on. One, they said we need to now do an environmental assessment. So AquaWorks, I'm sure will work on that. And you will see on the second page, there's a financial analysis. Actually, it's a financial analysis from the 2021 audit. So it's kind of a couple of years old. And it talks about our rates, the water and sewer rates, and it talks about if we get a grant, then you'll have to raise your rates this much. If you don't get a grant, you want to fund the whole 10 million, then you got to raise your rates this much. We're not planning to do that. So we're going to be talking to AquaWorks tomorrow regarding where we go from here and do further evaluation of the amount of the project that we need to do. We might even look at going to USDA now for a portion of that money. USDA also has a match. So don't get too sideways on it when you read it. It really was a little bit took me back with the numbers that they said we had to raise in our utility fund to fund $10 million. We're not recommending that. So that's just don't choke on your coffee in the morning and read it. That's all I have.
Thank you, Frank. Andy, you have anything about the school Monday?
Yes. Annie Durham, 309 Aspen Street, CT Director for the Cripple Creek Victor School District. I'm glad you asked. We are having a ribbon cutting ceremony on May 11th. And so we'll be sending invitations to City Council for that. And so the building should be complete by the end of this month. And our post-start culinary kids are at their first competition in Denver as we speak. And so I'll keep you posted on that, but that's pretty much all. Oh, we had, I want to thank all the city department heads who represented the city at our career exploration fair today. It was deeply appreciated. I feel it was a very successful event. So I think that's it.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, new business. Consider approval of CDOT agreement R2-25 211-OLA. Connie Donovan. Or
That's me. Good evening, council, mayor. So I'm here because we have the contract so we can get started on our sidewalk project in City Park. And the project is just inside City Park. It's not outside. The grant we got awarded, which is a zero match, is $642,500. So right now we need to get the contract signed, and then after that, we'll start proceeding into the engineering, doing requests for quotes. And then that will be hopefully this next year and for the next year, and then we'll start the construction piece. So it's a pretty lengthy project. It's so hard to believe that $600,000 will go inside, but I know you guys have been working with the sidewalks that are costing millions. So I guess in our little spot, that it will help bring our sidewalks up to ADA compliance, and also there's quite a bit of wear and tear on those sidewalks. So once we get the contract going, then we can start moving on, and then we'll start looking at what the budget is, so then we can go for the bids and let them know what those prices would be.
Thank you.
Thank you. Colin, does that include everything like in the city park? Or so the little roundabout too, is that part of it too? Is that?
Just
that's
inside,
just inside? So it's like a
Inside
front
the-
ramp and everything too, and on the Bennett side?
front room, yes.
Okay,
Inside all the fencing.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get rid of a lot of the railroad ties that are kind of not kosher anymore and things like that. Pretty exciting. So it's just here for approval, and once you guys, if you approve it, then that's good. And of course, I wanted to remind everybody that we have our recreation needs assessment next week on Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday nights 5 to 8, and Thursdays 9:30 to 4:30. It will be at the Wildwood Hotel. So we've had some partnerships with that, and it's going really well, and I'm excited to bring back what we get, and that should be finished by May, the full study. And again, that was another through the school, through Boulder. Jeff was able to, I guess they went for an application earlier and they didn't get it, so he thought maybe we'd try it again, and they were calling. And so they're from Boulder, and they're just really willing to get us going and doing the first student project, and they're just wonderful. So I'd like for you guys to meet them and show up and do some more sessions.
What was the date again, Connie?
Next Wednesday, the 22nd, 5 to 8. And then Thursday, it's 9:30 to 4:30. And if you can't make the whole time, that's all right. There's just work sessions and things like that. They'll do breakout groups. The first night, Wednesday, is basically going over the 5 areas that have kind of come up with the steering committee has come up as like our bucket list. So the main things. So that's it.
Any other questions?
No, congratulations on Grant Con. Glad to see that.
But Matt from CDOT is wonderful. He called me today, said, did you get it approved? Did you get Kim signed? I'm like, I'm going there now. And but he said, okay, after that, it might be a couple weeks. By the time you guys get it signed and it gets on their desk, it could be a couple weeks, and then hopefully we'll start maybe in a month getting those quotes out or requests for bids. All right, you guys have a good night. Thank you very much.
I hear a motion to accept the CDOT grant.
Motion to approve the CDOT agreement R2-25211 OLA. I'll second.
Vote please.
Councilor Little,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Mary,
Yes,
Councilor Bowman,
Yes.
Councilor Brown,
Yes.
Mayor Ashworth.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
you got your work cut out for you guys.
Oh,
That meeting will be in a conference room at the hotel.
In the hotel.
Yeah.
And the city was good. We paid for the lunches that will be on Thursday. So that's the only money we put out.
All right. Good item B. Consider approval of 1 lease agreement and 2 professional service agreement. Lease agreement with Funky Little Theater Company. Jack. Theater director.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mayor, council, thank you for seeing me. The 2 agreements you have before you are to put Funky Little Theater Company under contract to perform the professional season at the View Theater. They've been performing theater in the Springs area for just about 10 years. They've got a patron base of over 5,000 on their mailing list. As far as finding a new company for us to use, this has been one of the better options that I've come across. They're local, so we'll be bringing up local talent as well, not just outside of the state. So I think that this is our best option at this moment, and I'm excited for the shows they have planned. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Any questions?
I think so. No?
There are motion to consider approval of lease agreement and professional service
we need
agreement.
to do 2, right?
First, we'll have a motion on the lease agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve the lease agreement. I will second that.
Vote please.
Mayor Pro Tem Mary,
Yes.
Councilman Bowman,
Yes.
Councilman Brown,
Yes.
Councilman Woodland,
Yes.
Mayor Ashworth.
Yeah. Okay, I hear a motion. For professional service agreement. With something, a little funky, theater.
Let's see that.
Little funky little theater. Little funky theater.
I'll motion that we approve the contract with the funky little theater company.
I'll second.
Vote please.
Brown,
Yes.
Councilman Bowman,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Mary,
Yes.
Councilman Woodland,
Yes.
Mayor Ashworth.
Yeah,
Thank you, council.
with all that, I think our business is done.
That's quick.
Meeting adjourned.
No.